bitches, welcome back to my channel. Sitting here once again. I know, no introduction.
Nope.
So I'm not going to do it. And we are coming here to talk about James Charles once again. Ew. I know everyone is so excited in the comments section.
But it's not in the way you think.
Definitely not, because we're on day what now?
5,000.
Well, no, day what now of this family that killed their dog. How many days have we been talking about that?
Probably about 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days now that this story has been out about this. And I have seen more influencers interested in the dog than in James Charles admitting on his platform to things.
Now, before people get it twisted, they're both very gross things in their own right. We're not saying that one is worse than the other, but they're still both very, very, very bad.
I'm just saying, since when do people care more about dogs than they care about kids?
I don't know.
What is going on?
There's been a lot of people that have spoken out about this dog, which I'm glad. I'm glad that they're offering their platform and voice to this, because this is a serious matter. But where's the same energy with James Charles? Because there's a lot of people that are talking about James, not talking about James, but talking about this whole thing with the dog and the Philippi family. Apparently we were saying the name wrong. Philippi. Just completely silent about James Charles.
Manny. Let's just say some names. You know, one of the last videos, actually the last video that James put on his channel was a gaming video with Manny, Got Mick, and Gabriel Zamora. And all three of them have been completely silent since all this has happened with James. And James actually sat down and admitted to things on his YouTube channel. It's like, so you can find the time to talk about a dog, rightfully so.
Yeah, no.
But you can't find time to like distance yourself or anything from somebody who has now admitted to having inappropriate contact with minors.
Yeah.
That's odd to me.
And specifically Lauren too, because I like Lauren. Like I said, I've watched her before previously, like all the DIY videos when that was all the rage, like Remy Ashton and all the girls that did DIY. I used to watch Lauren. But she's been somewhat affiliated with James because there's videos on her YouTube channel of her like recreating his looks. Like
his merch,
personalizing the merch and tweets and things. So she found time to speak out about that with the dog, which I'm glad she did. She offered her voice to a big cause, but I would think that this would just be as equally as important, would it not?
Well, here's my thing with that. I would want to know how much contact have they had, or how much has she like thrown her support for him since those videos were out? Because looking back at those videos, they were from, YouTube says 2 years ago, but you know, sometimes the YouTube date can be completely wrong. It could be like a year. So I'm wondering that, because if these videos are from 2 years ago and she hasn't shown support like since then I'm kind of like, it is what it is. I wouldn't remove the videos either, to be completely honest, because they have millions upon millions of views. But I would definitely let my opinion be known, like, hey, this is one time in my life, but now that this has happened and these things have come out and he has admitted to things, I can no longer support. I would totally say that. Yeah,
but then you have that whole case with like Manny, because he didn't even really speak about the dog. He just posted Lauren's thing on his Instagram and was pretty much like, this is sick. And I'm glad that Manny like did that, but like they're both evil things. They're both awful and evil in their own way. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why.
Well, one of them is a huge crime.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, technically, like I don't want to say what that family did as a crime. Do I think it should be a crime? Absolutely, but I don't think it was a crime. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it was either. I don't know.
But yeah, this whole thing, it's kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. It's kind of like, oh, well, we'll speak up on this person because they did something wrong, but we won't speak up on this person. It's kind of like they're both terrible, awful things. Why can't you just lend your voice to be like, hey, I don't associate with this person anymore, or I don't want to have anything to do with this person anymore?
I feel like a lot of people in the beauty community are afraid of James for some reason, at least the people that have been affiliated with him and doing videos with him and such, because they have stayed so silent, but have been so vocal about other people in the community and the horrible things that they have done. But now we have like actual crimes that are admitted to, and it's like, we're not going to say anything.
It's kind of be quiet. Like, if you think about it, it's backwards, because James has admitted to things. This family did this with this dog. They, for some unknown morbid reason, they thought that they were going to get clicks and views from this, but they did, not in the way that they thought. But why, like, I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense why they can't just say what James did and how they don't support it. Like, it's weird.
At least give people that. Like, do you still support him? Like, you have Noah Beck over there getting interviewed by the Hollywood Fix or whatever outside of that restaurant, saying that James will be back because he is James Charles and he just has so much on his shoulders right now, and all this, basically painting James once again as a victim in this situation. And it's like, this is why James will, in my opinion, continue to get away with stuff like this, because people aren't being as vocal. It's like, like drama channels are talking about it. People on Twitter are upset about it, but it's like these huge people that associate with him are refusing to say anything. So you know what? It'll get brushed under the rug once again, and James will be right back on top.
There were more people that spoke out about when all this stuff happened when Dramageddon won and said stuff about Manny because they alleged that Manny was a social climber. There were more people that were speaking out about that and throwing Manny under the bus than they are with James, when James has actually admitted to committing crimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, in my opinion, I think that a lot of the beauty community, at least the ones that we're referring to in this situation, as well as companies like Morphe, have really shown their true colors in this situation. And one, money must be more important than actual,
money over everything.
Being a good person. But I don't know.
Money over morals. That's where we're at in 2021. People don't care about what doesn't affect them. Yeah. If it doesn't affect you, it doesn't matter. That's why I feel like it was kind of like with Laura, and it was kind of like a personal thing, because she has this terrier, what is it, a boxer terrier or whatever. And I think that maybe she had done videos with this person in the past. I know that they probably knew one another. But a lot of people, I didn't even know that this, what's her name? Nikki. She was apparently an OG in the beauty community.
Oh, good for her. I don't know. That Nikki Philippi, or however they're saying their name today.
Girl, I don't know.
I really hope that this is not like they thought, like, okay, we had to put the dog down, so we're going to sit down and do this video to try to drum up some views, drum up a little bit of drama.
They thought they were going to get sympathy.
She has over 1 million subscribers, and I went back and looked on her channel because I was like, oh, okay, so she must be like popular. Her videos are like 15,000 and under, and I'm not throwing shade. Not throwing shade, because views are low sometimes on everybody's channel, but could this be like a drama thing? Like, we had to put the dog down, and now all of a sudden they're going to pop up with a new dog?
There's new developments with that too. Also, I forgot. There was a video that somebody found yesterday on Twitter, and I tweeted it out, and it's basically Dan, I think, is Nikki's husband, like, Bowser's there eating, and the video was titled "Will Bowser Eat My Hand?" and he was rubbing his hand's face all in this dog's face while it was eating. The dog did not show even one bit of aggression. Not one bit of aggression at all. So apparently they didn't think.
Well, but wait, he also said while he was doing that, he was letting the camera know that he was doing that because he doesn't want his dog to be aggressive. He wants his dog to be used to things like that. So he's training Bowser to be able to handle something like that. And he was like literally up in this dog's face. If I can find the clip, I'm going to have it on the screen right here.
You know what I've always done with my dogs? Is I get really close to them and I get in their business while they eat, because I don't want a mean dog. I don't want my little babies coming next.
Not one bit of aggression at all. So apparently they didn't think.
Well, but wait, he also said while he was doing that, he was letting the camera know that he was doing that because he doesn't want his dog to be aggressive. He wants his dog to be used to things like that. So he's training Bowser to be able to handle something like that. And he was like literally up in this dog's face. If I can find the clip, I'm going to have it on the screen right here. But they're full of shit.
They are.
They're full of shit.
They are.
So this is.
So, I mean, and the people that are not speaking out about James are full of shit as well. Like, period, point blank. Like, I get, like, I don't understand how you can speak about one thing that's important but not another. But then I don't want to police what people talk about either. But because I hate when people come on my channel and they're like, you need to talk about this.
No.
What?
I would like to police this situation, because let's just throw this around real quick. If this was Shane Dawson that had this stuff come out about him, again, because Shane had those inappropriate jokes, but if there was Shane Dawson sitting down to admit that he was doing things like this, or even Jeffree Star for that matter, every influencer would be speaking about this.
Of course they would.
Because every influencer likes to throw it back, be like, oh, well, that person's still friends with Joffrey, and like things like that. Every influencer would be speaking. So I am going to police this situation. If you guys can't find time to speak up about James and his inappropriate actions after you've been associated with him so closely. I'm sorry, you've shown your true colors. And
yeah, that's another thing that I don't like. Speaking about that, I hate when people inject things into an argument that don't belong there. I saw somebody, and I'm not even trying to be shady because I like this person. I just don't like this whole thing that people do. Like, if you're talking about one person, say if you're talking about Jacqueline and her launch, what in the hell does her being friends with Jeffrey have to do with her makeup dropping and not being good? That's two totally different things. Like, why are you injecting this into a conversation to try to get clicks and views and engagement when that person has nothing to do with it? Like, it just does not make sense.
I'm just going to say, you guys know, love Jacqueline. I saw the swatches on Trend Mood.
They were horrible, girl.
Of Jacqueline's new makeup.
They were awful.
And I thought for a second that those were like pixie sticks that somebody rubbed on their arm as a joke. And what I was looking at was someone trolling Jacqueline. And I looked at the account. It was actually the verified Trend Mood. And I was like, oh.
But I mean, like,
oh dear.
You get what I'm saying? And people are going to say, because I use Jeffrey as an example, because this is what this person said. Yeah. It could be literally any person. You can exchange it for any other YouTuber. But what does X and Y have to do with somebody's bad makeup? You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're friends with somebody does not deem that their makeup is going to be bad.
It's like when you're talking about something bad that someone did. Like, let's use James as an example. Like, we're sitting here talking about James and the things that he admitted to on his video. We'll have people underneath this video in the comment section going, but Jeffrey did this. But Shane did this. But did you know Tati did this? It's like, this video is not about that. The situation is not about that.
No.
So yes, I do know that it happened, but this is not.
And most of the time, 99.9% of the time, when somebody says, well, do you know this person did this? Yes, we've already covered it. It's in a video. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So, I mean, it's a totally moot point to try to make when you inject another person into a situation that had nothing to do with them. And that could be literally anybody.
I agree.
I don't know. I just think it's a mess. Manny should have spoke up, because I really did get back into Manny after all this, because I do feel like he's done well and grown, and he's kept his nose clean. He's done really well. The only thing that I have to harp on about Manny at this point in time is this whole thing with James, and he knows. He is aware. I know that he interacts with drama channels. He sees tweets and all that. So he knows that he should have spoke up about this. He just didn't. I don't know if it's because he's afraid of James, or if he thinks James is going to come out on top and he's going to benefit from that in some way. I just don't know. But I think that all these people that have been so very close to James, like Gabriel, they should have said something, because it's gonna happen again. We said that last time.
It's a pattern.
And then like 2 days later it happened. It's gonna happen again.
It's a pattern. So let us know all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, you guys. And with that said, that's it for this video.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye, guys.